Hi guys, so today we are doing our August currently inked. As you can see, I think I have 13 pens here with me today. We are going to be starting with the Pilot Kakuno medium nib, and this is inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Hana Ikata ink. And I really love this pen. It's very smooth to write with, and it's very lightweight, which is really nice. And as you can see, there's two Pilot Kakunos, so we're going to be going through both of them. They have different ink than last month. Um, One thing that I wanted to try and do is cut down on the amount of pens that I had inked this month in comparison to July. I did. I was able to cut down by two, but it was still very difficult for me because I just love my ink so much and I just want to try everything. So this one is a Pilot Kakuno in a fine nib, and this is inked with Colorverse Andromeda. And again, a super pretty purpley pink ink that I really love. And I kind of got away from the Colorverse inks a little bit this month. I was more like into some Sailor inks and some Pilot inks, and it was just a lot, I don't know, it was more of a variety for me. This is my problem pen, my Kaweco Macchiato in a medium nib. And as you can see, it still kind of writes kind of goofy. I don't know. I have to flush it. I'm at that point right now where I'm like, you know what? We'll just go ahead and flush it next time I take the ink out. But this is Pilot Iroshizuku Takesumi, which is a really gray black. And for some reason, this pen just doesn't flow as nicely as my other medium nibs. And it's been that way since I bought it, so it probably just needs to be flushed. So there we go. And we have our iridescent Kaweco medium nib. This is Diamine Wild Strawberry, which looks absolutely stunning. I love it so much. I'm becoming a Diamine girl. Can you believe it? There are so many awesome samples that I have in my cart for Goulet that they're all Diamine. Like all of them are Diamine. And I'm just really excited to do my next order from them because I'm just like, oh, I'm really excited. Okay, and this is my double broad nib Kaweco. This one still has Peter Moss in it, Ferris Wheel Press. I love this pen and I don't use it very often. Like, it's so funny because, like, it's just the double broad nib is so juicy and wonderful, and I'm just like, I don't use it as often as my other ones in my rotation. So this one might actually be put maybe a different ink next month. I don't know, but Peter Moss is still a top priority for me. And here's another one I didn't use as often this month. This is my Kaweco Extra Fine EF nib with Colorverse Quasar. And I felt like the nib on this probably wasn't a good match for the ink because the Colorverse Quasar is a very like interesting like color shifting kind of ink, and the problem is when you use it with an EF nib, it kind of just comes out blue, just blue. Like you don't get a lot of the really good shifting that maybe a broad nib or a medium nib might give you. So, all right. So this next one is our special Kaweco lavender or lilac, whichever you want to say, lavender or lilac. And this is another EF nib, extra fine. And this is Sailor Shikiori. I forget which one it is. Fuji Sugata. Yes, Fuji Sugata. And I forget how to write an F. Oops. So Fuji Sugata. Sugata. Forgive me. I just woke up. So this one is a very, like, again, it would be beautiful in a more bold nib versus the EF, but it's still very pretty, very nice to write with. I don't use that one as often as I should. And then this Kaweco, this is a medium nib, and I decided to put Sailor Shikiori Sakura Mori in it because I wanted to kind of see like that juiciness of the pink. And this one has been a good writer for me. I've been using it a lot, and it's been really fun to use and very fun to write with. And the ink, I can see this pink, which is really nice. I love Hana Ekata and Sakura Mori for those reasons. And here's my typical blue pen. This is the same as last month. So this is the Kaweco medium nib. I had to check the nib. And this is Colorverse Quasar, sorry, no, Colorverse Ham number 65. Not Quasar. It's kind of similar in the blue aspect, where Quasar comes out a little bit more purple. Ham 65 is more of like a bluish, steelish, kind of gray blue kind of color. Alright, now we're moving on to my Jinhaos, my Jinhao 82s to be specific. This is a fine nib, and I went ahead and inked this with Sailor Manyo Fuji, I want to say. Yes, Fuji. Not to be confused with Fuji Sagata, but Fuji. Another like bluish purple color, a lot of shading. And here's another Jinhao 82 with a fine nib. This one is Sailor Manyo Haha, which I write with this one a lot. I wrote a couple cards to my sister with it. I thought that it was really beautiful on the cardstock that I used. I'm just a big fan of Haha. I think that it's just a really beautiful light ink. And at first I was having trouble seeing it, but it turns out that once it dries, it becomes a lot easier to see. Okay, my final Jinhao 82 is another fine nib. I want to get a medium nib so bad, but my friend's like, don't get another Jinhao, what are you doing? And this is Diamine Ancient Copper is inside this one. I think I did a video of inking this pen with something else. I don't remember what I inked it with. I think it was something oak, something autumn. Oh, Autumn and Auburn, yes. Autumn and Auburn by Ferris Wheel Press, but I changed it to Ancient Copper to get a little bit more dimension. Now, one of my favorites, the Hong Dian 920 in an EF nib, which it writes like a fine nib, so don't let that discourage you if you're thinking about getting this pen. It writes like a fine nib. It doesn't write like an EF at all. Then I inked it with Diamine Autumn Oak because I'm kind of feeling the whole fall vibes, like more like, you know, oranges and reds and things like that. That's my next to Goulet Pens sample video is going to be a lot of colors that are reminiscent of fall. So there you have it, 13 pens for August. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for scribbling along with me. Have a great day.